Hey everyone, happy Memorial Day and happy Mindful Monday. No, I did not forget, even though it's a holiday, it feels like a Sunday, but it's Monday, so let's do it. Hey, I was camping for Memorial Day weekend and I finished a book called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. This is a book that someone recently recommended that I read. And I read through the whole thing and even went back and read through a few more chapters. I should say listen to. I typically use Audible and do the audiobook route whenever possible. But some great things came out of this book that I wanted to share. And I encourage all you guys to go check it out as well. So in this book, he talks about being in different zones. There's 4 zones. One is the zone of incompetence, which is, you're doing things that you are naturally incompetent in. The zone of competence, the zone of excellence, and finally the zone of genius. And really the premise, a large portion of the book is to commit to living in your zone of genius and to take that big leap. That's why he calls the book The Big Leap. And so I wanted to just share, he has 4 questions. I'm trying to discover, and figure out my zone of genius so I can commit to that myself. But he has 4 questions that you ask yourself to try and discover this. All right, so I'm going to read through those. Number 1, what do I most love to do such that I can do it for long stretches of time without getting tired or bored? Okay. Number 2, what work do I do that doesn't seem like work? Number 3, in my work, what produces the highest ratio of abundance and satisfaction to the amount of time spent? And so really I think of this as, what tasks do I do at a really high efficiency that output, that drive the biggest results, maybe the most revenue for your company, and it also gives me a tremendous amount of satisfaction. So something to think about. And look, remember, these questions you might not have an answer right away. I was thinking through these and I don't have an answer for most of these, so I need to I think part of this is discovering this as you're working day to day, just doing your day-to-day things, and keeping these questions in mind with the idea of discovering this, hopefully in the next, week or so. All right, and then number 4, last question, what is my unique ability? And he describes this further as a special gift that you are really good at that's also helpful to other people around you, aka what is your superpower? And further, so those are the 4 questions, but further to help discover the answer to some of these questions, another way to think about this is to write down, I'm at my best when I'm doing X, right? What are you doing when you're at your best? And then, when I'm at my best doing X, the exact thing I'm doing is, so now he wants you to go into more detail. What is the exact thing that you're doing? Expand on that. And then third, when I'm doing that exact thing, the thing I love most about it is, and so just going deeper and deeper with each question. He describes this as a Russian doll. Reggie? He laid his head on my dog laid his head on my laptop and is adding words to my notes. Okay. He describes this as a Russian doll. You start with the outer doll, you open it up, and there's a doll inside, and you open that up, there's another doll inside. So you want to, and it reminded me of a concept I've learned before called 7 levels deep. So really it's just a matter of you're starting, the first thing that pops in your head is the big picture, the high level, the surface level thing. And you want to really crack that open and go as deep as you can with it. And by doing all of this, the whole idea is to discover what are you doing when you're in your zone of genius? And then to take the leap, the big leap, and commit to living in your zone of genius. And so this can be challenging because your zone of excellence could be something that, hey, you're excelling at. Maybe it's your current job or your current role in your current job, or your, I don't know, whatever it is. But it's something that you excel at. Maybe it compensates well. Maybe it gives you everything you need to live a comfortable life. But for some reason, you're just not satisfied because you're just not pushing yourself to that next level. You're not really expanding and growing into your full potential. And that's where the zone of genius comes in. All right? It's going beyond. Don't just be competent. Don't just be excellent. Really dig into what sets you apart. By answering those questions, what are those things, or that thing that you love doing, that you could do all day long, never get tired of it, that not only you love doing, but that also serves and helps other people, and that is a unique ability of yours. This is challenging, and like I said, I don't have answers for mine. I started jotting down ideas, but I'm going to continue to think about this as I go through the week, this coming week, and see how far I can get, see if I can nail this down, because I really think this is a tremendous idea, and it all comes down to making that commitment to not just excellence, but being extraordinary, living an extraordinary life, continuing to grow and push yourself, taking that big leap, right? And you know what? You might know yours right away. It might have to do with, oh man, a way to think about this is if you had, if money wasn't an object, if time was not a concern, if you had all the time in the world, all the money in the world, you could do whatever you want, what would you do, right? That might answer, or at least guide you to figure out what is your zone of genius. And to the point where, he even has a whole chapter in here on time and how we create our own time. And we are I'm trying to think the words that he uses, the producers. We produce our time. Time comes from ourselves, comes from within. And when people say, I don't have time, I can't make time, it's a lie, because we are the creators of our own time and taking ownership of that. Lots of abstract thoughts and ideas, but really curious things that could make a monumental shift in your mindset and your path moving forward. So when you think about that, it's like, hey, is there something that you really want to do, but you keep lying to yourself and saying, I don't have time to do that. I don't have time to do that. Oh, I got to do this other stuff first. I never have time to do this. Because if that's the case, that could be something, that could be your zone of genius, and you are just neglecting it because of also a thing that he calls the upper limit problem. Maybe there's something deep down and you don't think you're worthy of whatever successes you might have if you actually dig into that thing that you're avoiding. So I know this is abstract. You got to read the book. The book is abstract. So, and I'm trying to give a quick summary of it. But it was a great read. I'll probably read it again. And I'm going to continue to ponder these questions for myself. Mm-hmm. I encourage you to do the same. I would love to hear, what you discover. Do you already, just with these questions, do you know right away, oh, I know exactly what this is. I know exactly what I've been putting off. Or not. Do you have an idea of what it might be? Do you have no idea what it might be? I don't know. Let's talk about it, because, the other thing he says in the book is to have to form a little group of maybe 3 co-conspirators who are committed to living in their zone of genius and holding each other accountable, sort of like a mastermind, right? So if you are interested in that, let me know and read the book, and we can talk about it, because I know right now I'm really not sure what mine is, and I'll be thinking about it more. But for those of you who know me, maybe you have ideas. I don't know. Maybe you have ideas of what my unique ability is. Again, a special gift that you're really good at. It's also helpful to other people around you, like a superpower. So sometimes other people see things in you that you might not see in yourself. That's why I'm posing that question, and feel free to pose that question to me as well. So, all right, guys, that's it. My dog's laying on my laptop again. Oh my gosh, he is so crazy. Reggie. He looks so annoyed. Why are you so annoyed? I gave him a bath after camping. He got so dirty, but he smells so good now. All right, guys. Happy Monday. Happy Memorial Day. Here's to a 4-day week ahead. And I hope you guys got some rest this weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. All right. Good night.